What's going on, everyone? I've sort of created a new YouTube channel as a lot of things have changed in my life. I'm a young mum, I'm 22 years of age, got a 1-year-old son, and I thought, why not just, resonate with people, answer a few questions about being a young mum, do some videos sort of explaining about like pregnancy, postpartum, birth, like the labour and everything that goes on with being a mum. Just be as real as possible, basically, because I know that there's a lot of people out there that try and tilt things here and there, don't say fully what happens or the process of things or the aftercare. People say how easy or how hard things are, and everyone can take into account everyone's different. So without further ado, yes. So first question is, how are you adjusting to motherhood? And this is a big question that I don't really know how to answer. I wouldn't even say that I have adjusted to being a mother yet. I think I was starting to get adjusted to the newborn stage, having to wake up and do the 3-hour feeds and the changing the nappies, and how your life just all around changes around this one little human being. Even if your kid is like 15, I don't think anyone has really fully adjusted. So to say I've adjusted would be a lie. I would say I'm coping better than I was, but I still have my moments. I still have my down moments where I get really, really stressed, or things get too much and overwhelming, and that's okay. That is perfectly normal. Even though I didn't think it was normal, and it took a lot on me. It took a toll on me. Talking to a lot of other people that have also had kids, whether it be family, friends, random people, they all say the same. I have people staring through my window at my dog. Just going. It's a process. It's a long, long process, and they are staring at me again. They've just walked past. Still learning. I'm still trying to deal with a lot of things with my son. How has he got the remote? And things like that. He's like Houdini. He finds things and then he makes them disappear, and you have no idea where they are. So it's stressful. It is still stressful. Do you want Mickey Mouse? Yeah. Okay. The second question is, what is the biggest challenge you're facing right now? If you have a kid is the biggest challenge that you can have in your life. They test you beyond all limits. When I tell you beyond all limits, I mean all limits. They don't get their own way. They pull a tantrum. They stomp their feet. They lie on the floor. They scream in your face. Then if you don't give them enough attention, they'll go and do something that you don't want them to do, and know that you have to go over and stop them. And then they'll laugh at you. On a real note, the biggest challenge that I'd say that I face on a daily basis is trying to not gentle parenting, because I don't think that fully works. But I also don't like the strict parenting side of things, so I'm very in between, and I think trying to do parenting with the in-between of gentle and strict is very difficult, and it's challenging, because you want to be nice to him, you want to be nice to your kids, they're just babies, they're just toddlers, you do what you can, but you also have to understand that they can't communicate properly, and that's also a very challenging thing to comprehend when you're overwhelmed and you're stressed. Parenting the right way to fit my child is the biggest challenge that I have as of right now. Makes you just break down sometimes and cry and take a minute to yourself. It's very challenging. It's not easy. So, third question is, what has surprised you most about being a mum? I genuinely don't know how to answer that question. I think the thing that surprised me the most is how much of a mother I am being, because I never wanted kids. Like, before I met my partner now, I never ever saw myself having children. I didn't think I could have kids. That's how much I just didn't see them in my life. I didn't see myself having kids. Not to mention I was also gay. So it was a very big surprise to me when I stepped into having my son, because I took to it, in my opinion and my family's opinion, I took to it very well. I think it's the fourth question. Fourth question is, do you feel like you have enough help with my child? I definitely think when he was a baby, like when he was a newborn baby, I had a lot of help. I had a lot of support, as I was living with my parents at the time, and then we were also living with my partner's parents after a while. So I had a lot of help and a lot of support then. Now that me and my partner have moved into our own home, I would say we don't get as much help, but we also don't ask for help. Unless we're going away, like we want to go on a holiday or we want to go for a meal, just us, then we'll ask. Really, I don't have help. There's no one else around me. My friends are all living elsewhere. I don't know anyone where I live. When it comes to feeling like if I have enough help with Grayson, I would say not at the moment. But I also do not ask for that help, if you understand what I'm saying. So he has decided he wants to come and join because he keeps hitting me, the phone, and my laptop. So we are going to talk with Grayson here. Yes. So what's the next question, Grace? The question is, how are you connecting with your partner during this time? Obviously, it's not the same for all couples. For my relationship, I'm not going to say it was plain sailing. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say it's been perfect, because I don't think any relationship is that's just had a baby. I feel like if you say you do, you're lying. But no, it's been a struggle. It's not been easy, you know. It's been hard trying to navigate your relationship when you have this new person that you have to rely all of your attention on. You know, you've really got to try and balance between everyday life things and work and your child and your relationship, as well as family relationships and friendship. It's a lot of balancing that you have to do, and it takes time. Just having a baby in general causes a lot of stress in a relationship. It causes a lot of conflicts because you don't agree on things. You have different opinions on how to settle your kids. One can be really overwhelmed and tired, like exhausted, and everything in between. It's very, very normal for a relationship to snap at one another when you're running on a few hours sleep. Just had screaming constantly in your ear. It's hard. But I think one thing I'll say is communication. I know everyone says it, but it's true. Communication is the biggest thing that you can have in a relationship, and it will save your relationship a lot if you do it correctly. Me and my partner, luckily, we communicate very, very well. You know, since the beginning of the relationship, we have communicated very, very well. Obviously, we have little blips here and there in the communication side with misunderstanding each other. Just making sure that we're doing more dates together, whether that being indoors, watching a movie with food, playing chess, going out for walks. You know, just spending time with each other. Yes, your son might be there. Yes, your child might be there. But when you're spending that quality time with each other rather than just sitting there on your phones and just, or being in different rooms or going out and doing your own thing, obviously is very important to do now and then. But it's also important to do those things with your partner. We also have to remember that we were each other's first before our son. You know, our son came second. I'd say right now, me and my partner are connecting amazing. And we're finally at that stage where we're starting to figure out what to do and how to do things, how to help each other, as well as communicating more. And it's helped a lot. So keep that in mind. Communication, listen to each other, talk through it, and then come up with a solution. Deal with it, act on it. Next question, I think it's number 5. What are you doing to take care of yourself physically and mentally? And when I tell you I am not doing any of those things, and that is a bad question to ask, But no, on a serious note, I'm gonna touch on this in a separate video. To take care of myself physically and mentally is honestly space. Whether that just be going for a shower or chilling upstairs for a bit by myself or taking the dog out for a walk, you know, little tiny things like that, just having my own space to sort of decompress helps a lot. I'm not fully there with taking care of myself physically and mentally. I'm still trying to figure that out as I'm still going through phases, but it happens. Now, there is a similar question that goes along this. Do you manage stress and anxiety as a new mum? I'll be honest, right? So I have social anxiety. It caused so much stress in my life where I can't do things. I can't answer people on the phone sometimes. Well, a lot of the time. There's a lot of things that it's a struggle. I'm still trying to deal with it. But since having my son, I'd say it's gotten less. It's getting a bit easier to deal with. I don't know whether that's because I have someone else to concentrate on and to think about. With that helping that side of my anxiety, it's also brought new anxieties, like being very overprotective over my son. It's overpowering and it's a struggle. So next question. What are your biggest hopes for your child's future? What's my biggest hopes for your future? I think my biggest hopes for my son's future is just that he's happy. You know, he doesn't go through similar things that I went through as a child. I hope he has a good childhood. I hope, I genuinely hope he's happy. I hope he has a good job. I hope he has a lovely family. You know, I just hope for all the good things in my son's life that's to come. I don't know what else you could hope for your child's future other than the good stuff. What are you most excited to experience with your child as they grow up? You know what? I think the most thing that I am excited about is just seeing him grow in general. Like, seeing how he was a year ago to now is such a big accomplishment and a big achievement that it's crazy when I look back at photos. You know, to think that he couldn't crawl, he couldn't say a word, you know, he couldn't do anything, and now he's trying to put his socks and shoes on by himself. He goes to our stall for a nappy when it needs changing. He rubs his belly when he's hungry. That makes me so proud as a mum, and it gets me excited, the fact that I'm here seeing it and experiencing it as he's going through them. That is honestly the biggest, blessing that I think a parent can say about their child, is just seeing them achieve milestones. What's one thing you wish you'd known before becoming a mum? There is a lot of things I wish I knew before becoming a mum. Let me tell you. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. It's unbelievable. The things that people don't tell you to the things you find out yourself. Nope. I'd probably say at the labour. Before becoming a mum, obviously, everyone always talks about, the labour hurts. You know, pushing a kid out hurts. And the contractions, all the contractions and tearing. And, you know, they tell you all of that stuff. What they do not tell you, and this is something that caught me off guard, was dilation checks. Now, screw the contractions, screw the pushing a 9-pound baby out of me, okay? Because that didn't hurt. The contraction, the contraction sort of hurt. I wouldn't say it really hurt, it just sort of took your breath away, then you couldn't really, it hurt, but contractions hurt, but they weren't so bad. The pushing the baby out, honestly, did not hurt one bit. However, the dilation checks, when they put their fingers to check your dilation, the most painful thing I had experienced throughout the whole process of giving birth to my son. I want to say when I was 3 centimeters dilated, it wasn't that bad. Or before then, again, wasn't that bad. 6 onwards, it felt like they were ripping my, like, all of my insides out through there. Like, the most painful thing I have ever experienced in my life was them checking my dilation from 6 centimeters onwards. I hated it. I dreaded it. I didn't like it. Epidural, as people would say, yes, it does hurt, but again, I think that's just, it's different for everyone, obviously. So I would say that and the dilation checks was the most painful thing out of the whole process of giving birth to my son. And people don't tell you about the dilation checks. You know, throughout my whole life, and even when I was pregnant, and people telling me about the process and the labour, no one ever mentioned that until after, and I had mentioned it. And then people are like, oh, yeah, it was painful, yeah. Why is it not talked about enough? Why? Or like, sorry, this is more than one thing. And also, the fact that once you've given birth, you might not have blood, right? You might not. As soon as you step off that hospital bed and you're standing, you best believe all that blood is like you just turned a tap, you stand up, all blood come gushing out, you're waddling to the bathroom to sort yourself out, you look like an elephant, and you have blood everywhere. No one tells you about that either. So as a first mum, it's scary. Not knowing everything to do with the labour. They are things that you need to know. So if you didn't know, and you're currently pregnant about to give birth, or you want to become a mum, there you go, now you know. That was all the questions that I had for today. But if you have any more, please don't be afraid to ask. You done? You done? Follow my socials because I have now created an Insta account, Amy and Grayson, just so there's an interaction between me and you. But thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've learned a tiny bit. I hope you've got an insight to me. If you want to know more, please let me know. Please like, subscribe if you feel like you could relate to anything. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch it. And I will see you next time.